Hey friendly people, today I'm going to react to a video by another dating coach named Lloyd, aka The Single Guy, where he covers what you should do when a woman asks, what are you looking for? And whether that's online or on a date. Let's get started.
Why do they ask this question? Women are asking this question because they want to know if you're looking for the same thing as her. Generally, I'm not going to say every time, but a lot of times when women ask this question, it's not because they're looking to hook up. It's because they're looking for something serious. And that's why they asked a serious question.
I agree. If a woman's asking you about what you're looking for, then more often than not, they're trying to evaluate if you're a long-term prospect. And if they're just looking for a casual hookup, then they usually don't say anything like that unless they're really worried that you're the type of person who's going to get hurt if you realize that they're not looking for a relationship themselves.
Now, me as a dating coach, and a lot of the opinion of a lot of other dating coaches that I know, I would never recommend to a woman to ask this question for a lot of reasons. Number one, people usually aren't going to give you an honest answer. Number two, making demands right off the bat is generally not a good thing. And, you know, the last thing is that even if they're answering you truthfully, a lot of people change their answer. It really depends on the person. So they're not going to know if you're the kind of person to be in a relationship with, or the kind of person that they just want to hook up with, or the kind of person that they want to end this conversation right now and never talk to you again. They don't know that until they have more information about you.
Now, this is where I agree and disagree. I think that if a woman comes on way too strong with this question, it can be a huge red flag. Like if somebody was to say this to me, you know, a few messages into an online exchange or really early on a first date, it would make me hesitant. Because I would say this person's already so concerned about what I can provide for a relationship without actually even trying to get to know me and see if we have a connection and if we'd be a good fit for each other. And that can often indicate a little bit of desperation or neediness, or somebody who's just looking to find somebody to settle down because they feel like they're in a rush. But I still think it can be good to ask once you have a little bit of a connection, even later on a great first date or after a couple of dates, because yes, some people might not admit it to you early on and might BS or be vague, but a lot of guys that know for a fact they're not ready for a relationship will kind of signal that. But I agree that people inherently do change. Like myself, I did not plan on getting into a long-term relationship. When I met my wife, I was dating around and being single for 4 years, but naturally one thing led to another. I felt a much deeper connection, and naturally I realized, yeah, I want to explore something here.
I know so many guys that said that they were never going to get, they were just like looking to have fun, but then they met the right person and now they're in a relationship, you know?
That's
like,
me.
This happens all the time. And if you ask that question at the beginning, like you're denying the ability for them to be able to do that. I think instead of asking the question, you should just state what you're looking for in your profile. It's pretty simple. All right.
That's not bad advice either.
If you get this question though, because inevitably you will, typically a lot of times it's from someone who maybe is frustrated and they want to kind of like shortcut the dating process, where you see by somebody's actions what they're doing and you figure out what it is they're looking for and if you guys are compatible.
Yeah, I do think some of the times women ask those questions because they're coming from a place of frustration or desperation, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's real valid concern where they're like, great, I have limited time, especially if I want a family from like a medical perspective, and now I'm just trying to find somebody great, and I don't want to spin my wheels with the wrong person who's just going to lead me on. Maybe it is a little ignorant in that we can control that, but it is, I think, more so about self-protection and trying not to waste valuable time.
They're trying to shortcut this, and that's another reason why I'm not such a huge fan of it. But what should you do? So let's say for 3 scenarios, we'll do 3, okay? We'll do the scenario where you're just looking to hook up, okay? You're not looking for anything serious. How should you respond then? If you're looking for a committed relationship, if you're looking for a relationship in general, how should you respond? Or if you just like literally don't know, you know, you're on and you're kind of just like meeting people and you're seeing, it'll be based on a person per person basis, and you're not sure yet. Okay. I'll give you responses for all of those. So let's talk about the first one. The first one is if you're not serious. Most of the time,
I like that he's giving real honest answers depending on the version.
They think the girl is looking for the answer of, I'm looking for something serious, and they don't want to say that because they don't want to lie to them. They're not looking for something serious. So how do they say it in a way that's not going to scare her off? Okay. And by the way, it's okay if you scare her off, but you don't want to say something that's like just super, super out there.
I really love that he said that, because a lot of guys, when they come to me asking the same thing, what they're really asking is, how do I secretly say the right answer so that I don't lose my opportunity at maybe getting romantic with this person, even though I know that we might want different things? And in my opinion, sure, you can do that. You can lead somebody on, you can obscure your intentions, but I generally think it's not a compassionate way to go, because inevitably somebody's more likely to get hurt in the process, and they're going to feel lied to, especially if you deep down really know the truth. And I think it's much better to walk away from somebody that's not going to work out and focus on all the other options, because that also builds your sense of abundance and self-confidence, that you don't have to desperately hold on to the wrong person, but you can go out and find more people that are actually suitable for you.
So what you shouldn't say is, I'm just looking to have sex.
Definitely don't.
Looking to hook up. Probably shouldn't say that. Okay. Although women say that you should say that, don't say it. Just don't say it. Okay.
I agree.
No women's like, I'm just looking to hook up too. And like maybe there's a chance that'll happen, but very low. And there's better ways of wording it. Okay. A better way of wording it might be to say something like, and I'm not joking about this, is if you say, I don't know, I'm just looking, don't say I don't know. Say, I'm just looking for someone who I can beat at Mario Kart, or who can beat me at Mario Kart.
This is a tough one for me, because I know what he's trying to say and his intentions are good. What he's trying to tell you to do is kind of sub-communicate that you're not looking for anything serious, and saying something like, I'm looking to beat someone at Mario Kart, basically says, I'm not looking for the same thing you are. You asked me this serious question and I'm responding with a little bit of playfulness. The problem is that this is avoidant behavior, and it perpetuates avoidant behavior in any kind of connection, because a woman says, okay, this guy dodged my question and he's kind of ignoring it. Now I have to pull back and protect myself. And this is where you kind of get into that cycle of poor communication and game playing and hot and cold, and that just drives everybody crazy. Instead, I like to try to lighten the mood, but still be honest with it. I'd say something like, I just got out of a long relationship, and to be honest, I'm not ready to jump into anything serious at this point. If you're cool with that, I'd love to just keep hanging out and having some fun experiences together. Or something like, right now I've been really focusing on starting this business, and I just don't feel like I'd have the time to properly give to somebody else, and I don't think it'd be fair to them.
What are you saying with this? You're saying, I'm looking for someone who's fun. I'm looking to have fun.
Mario Kart is pretty fun.
Now you don't have to be like kind of offensive or crass about it. You say, oh, I'm just looking to hook up. Okay. You're looking for someone who's down to have fun. Now, if she doesn't like this answer, it means she's looking for something serious, and it means you're probably not on the same page. And that's okay. It's okay with the dating app.
Again, the ironic part is, though, a lot of women will actually appreciate that honesty and feel like they can trust you more because of it. And I've had plenty of women who are looking for a long-term relationship, have a nice guy, a genuinely nice guy, not a nice guy, say that he just is looking for some fun and basically signaling casual hookups. And they're totally down with that until they find the right person.
You're going to meet tons of people that, you two want different things. It's totally fine. Okay. Now let's talk about if, and by the way, if she keeps like asking you about it and continuously and she won't drop it, then you two are probably not on the same page in general with a lot of these responses. Okay.
Yeah. Red flag.
2, if you are looking for a committed relationship, maybe not, you're looking for something serious. Okay. How should you respond? Well, tell her that you're looking for a relationship. It's the first thing you should say. I'm looking for a relationship. And then underneath that, but I'm in no rush. You want to tell her that you're in no rush and you're down to wait for the right person. Okay.
I think that's great advice, as long as it's from an honest standpoint. If you are genuinely secure in yourself and independent, and you are trying to evaluate, does this person have the qualities that I'm looking for? Do they respect me? Am I sexually attracted or physically attracted to them? Then I think it's an awesome thing to say, because it's sincere. If it's some kind of tactic where you're actually like secretly desperate and like, I want to play aloof and be cool because I'm hoping that she'll pick me, then it's not a great way to go.
This is telling her that you're not just going to settle for anybody, and you're not going to rush into things, which she doesn't want to rush either. Although she's asking this question, which kind of indicates to me that she's rushing for it. But
not always.
You want to let her know that. And by the way, let her know that you are down to be alone until you find that person. Because and you don't have to say it verbatim, say it how I said it before. But if you don't want to come off as desperate. So That's basically how I would word that. Now, if she keeps like what kind of relationship, what things are you looking for? That's not usually a conversation that you should be having. And the reason why is because you really tell a compatibility by their actions. Everybody portrays the kind of person that they want to be, or the relationship that they think they want. But until you start kind of like being with that person for a little bit, you don't really know how it's going to be with them, because everybody puts up this front when they're dating. And to get past that, you really have to like talk to them and spend some time with them.
Again, this is true when it's early on in like an exchange or maybe the first or second date, but I think that changes as you guys progress on more dates, because naturally you will start to drop each other's masks. I think people will feel more comfortable being vulnerable with one another. And then you do want to kind of figure out, are we even aligned in values? And I don't think people are completely avoidant or pretending, especially when you ask them really straight questions. Like if you ask them, are you very spiritual and religious? If they are, they're most likely going to tell you that they are. If they aren't, they'll also do the same, or they'll at least shroud it just a little bit like, I have no problem with it, but I don't really attend any services or go to church. And then you kind of know. And that does really help. If you know that, for example, you want to be with somebody who's very devout to Christianity and wants to go to church on Sundays, then that is going to provide you a lot of clarity. Or vice versa, if you realize you can't be with somebody who you think is very, very deeply religious. I also think this is more true for people under, let's say, the age of 30 or 35, and less true for people over those ages. The older you get, the more honest we know ourselves, the more honest we can be with each other. And I find these types of questions can be really, really helpful for kind of understanding, should I be investing in this or should I walk away?
So that's how I would respond for that. Now, if you don't know, you absolutely have no idea, then what you should respond with is you just say, right now, I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open for anything. You know, if I meet the right person and they're great and I want to date them and date nobody else, that's great. But if I meet someone who I see myself having a lot of fun with, but not being exclusive with, that's okay too. Right? Now, if she, again, is still like wants you to get more specific and pick either one, this person's not going to work well with you.
I think Lloyd handled that perfectly. You want to signal that you are open to something so that somebody knows that there is a chance, but you should convey in a way that's like, I am open to the right person. I am open to a connection if it naturally unfolds, or if I realize that it's somebody really great and I'm great for them, then definitely I'm excited to explore that. I just don't want to settle for the wrong person. What that conveys is a sense of self-confidence, and that you're not just desperately hoping to be chosen, but you're actually thinking about who should fit into your life, which is always going to be attractive.
Like anytime someone is making demands of you at the beginning, even if you're looking for a relationship, like why would you want to be in a relationship with someone who right from the get-go, even before you've met, is asking you this question, right? Like that's something that you really want to, it's not a good look, if you're doing that. But if you've been talking for a while and they ask, hey, what are you looking for? What it typically means is that you have not shown with your actions what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know. Maybe she's getting some mixed signals from you, or maybe she's feeling a little bit impatient. It's more of a serious conversation if she's brought it up later. If you guys have been talking for a while, maybe you've been on dates and she asked this, then you have to take it seriously. Like the Mario Kart answer would not fly. If you've been seeing each other for a while,
good job,
it's been a few dates, and you give her that answer, she's like never going to want to talk to you again. So don't take it seriously. And I would actually put that question back on her as well too. I would ask her what she's looking for. Okay. Typically, if she asks this question, like a while in, it means you've done something wrong, and you probably should have checked in with her to begin with, or shown with your actions more of what you're looking for. She shouldn't be confused about that.
Yeah, if somebody's continuing to press you on early dates where you've already answered their question and they're trying to keep digging, that's probably a red flag. But like Lloyd said, if this has been, a little while of you two dating, and then they bring up these concerns again or these questions again, it often could be that you haven't really made it clear what you're looking for, and they feel like they're a little bit in the lurch, trying to wait and understand what's actually going to happen. So if that's the case, check in with yourself, make sure that you've conveyed your intentions and expectations so the connection can move on or move forward. And if you're in a dating situation with a woman you know you don't want to be exclusive with, then check out my video here where I'll give you practical examples of what to say without breaking her heart.